जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तेरा बनचारी। जमुना तेरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य माता भय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की। ISKCON ब्यूटी फाउंडर चार्ज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री प्रभुपाद की। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य माता भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रज में वृंदावन धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम के श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की। गंगा माई जमुना माई की। श्रीमती भक्ति देवी की। श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories to the assembly devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुषुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स पदान्तिकं। Vandehang Sri Guram Sri Juta Padakamalang Sri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupang Sagra Jatang Sahagana Raghunathan Nitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Nitangscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Apesthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanang Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karati vachalam pangullanghayate giring jat kripatamam mande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone for the Saturday evening satsang. So we'll be continuing our discussion today. We started in the morning. The topic is ideal Vaishnava community. So how many of you were there in the morning session? Please raise your hand. Most of you. Okay, thank you very much for coming again. So those who are not there, so a small recap for them to understand the flow of the discussion. So in the morning, we discussed that Mahaprabhu instructed the perfection of our life can be attained by doing two things, especially in the Grihastha order of life. What are the two things? Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and serving the Vaishnavas. And we discussed that chanting of the holy name is difficult, but chanting the holy name in the association of devotees is more difficult. Because Sangha at the beginning is very wonderful, but as time goes by, the Sangha does not remain so wonderful in our consciousness. But there is no other option than to be in the association of devotees. According to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, according to Krishna's teachings, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teachings, according to teachings of different acharyas. Krishna has declared that he resides in those places where devotees gather together to glorify him. That is the place, right? Nahang tishtami vaikunte yoginami dayashiva tatra tishtami narada jatra gayanti madbhakta. That is the conclusion, that Krishna resides in those places where devotees gather together and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, Vaishnava Sangha is very, very significant, important, and we cannot be away from that association. There is no other option than to associate with the Vaishnavas. for that, escapism or escaping the association is not the option. Whether we like it or don't like it, we have to be in Vaishnava Sangha. So better we should know how to be in the association of devotees. And Mahaprabhu practically demonstrated that. How we can be in the association of devotees and derive our spiritual benefit. So a Vaishnava community has to be developed based on certain principles. So first principle we discussed. Can you remember what was the first principle? Krishna is the center. We have to keep Krishna in our center of our community. Generally, who is the center in our life? I am the center. So I should be replaced by Krishna. Very difficult. That is the austerity of Krishna consciousness. We think austerity means getting up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna, worshipping the deities, following four regulative principles. These are austerities. But the real austerity is to replace I by Krishna. So Krishna consciousness means Krishna is the center. In the same way, a Vaishnava community means Krishna is the center of that community. That has to be understood. If that is not there, there is no question of having a Vaishnava community. If Krishna is not there in the center, then we should not discuss any other thing. Because everything will fall apart. Nothing is going to work. What works? Krishna at the center, that will work. So therefore, first principle of Vaishnava community is that Krishna should be the center of our life. And all of you agreed in the morning. You all agreed to replace I by Krishna, right? How many of you agreed in the morning? Okay, still continuing. So mind has not changed during the whole day, right? Okay, good conviction. So then, second principle was relationship. We should have genuine relationship based on love and trust. Because unless there is relationship, there cannot be any community. So how relationship will be genuine and how relationship will be effective, how relationship will be nourishing, how relationship will be wonderful, giving the experience of happiness and bliss we are hankering for. Because bhakti means relationship. Without relationship, there cannot be any question of practicing bhakti. So community also means relationship. So how we can be united? The fundamental quality of uniting our community is humility. That's what we discussed, right? And we ended our discussion with that topic. Humility is the foundational principle to keep the community united. Humility keeps people together. And what is the opposite of humility? Oh, you remember that? Ego. It's a very interesting word, huh? E-G-O, ego. So ego divides the community. Ego breaks the relationships. And what is the dictation of the ego? I am right. The debate will be on who is right. That is the symptom of ego. And why there is no good relationship in the modern society? Because people are very egoistic. Too much ego. And ego will not allow us to have healthy relationship. And we also discussed what is the root cause of ego. Can you remember? Ignorance. Very good. So ignorance is the root of our ego. And what is the result of ego? Envy. And what is the result of envy? Breaking the relationship, dividing the community. That is the result. Connected with each other. So therefore, in order to have a healthy community, we should be on the spiritual platform. If we are on the bodily platform, we cannot be united. And how we can be spiritually identified? When we understand Krishna is the center of our life and we are part and parcel of Krishna. If there is one father, then there is a chance of unity. Many fathers, disunity, right? Broken families. That's why in our ISKCON family, there should be one father. That father is our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He should be the center. And he can unite. If he is the center of our spiritual life in ISKCON scenario, then that can have a impact to keep the community united. So that is very important principle. And if we have that understanding that Krishna is the center, then we should have also the understanding that everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Then there is a big chance of unifying everybody. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, who is intelligent? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihasteni sunichaiva sapakecha pandita samadarshina. Who is eligible to practice devotional service? That is the primary qualification to enter into the spiritual life. What is that qualification? Equal vision. We should see everybody equally. And how it is possible? We have to see everybody as the spirit soul. Then we can see equally. Otherwise, what we will see? If we see externally, then we will see a lot of differences. I am a South Indian. Sorry, I am in South India. So in South India also a lot of varieties. I am from Karnataka. Although I am not from Karnataka, I was born in other state but grew up in Karnataka. So a lot of varieties. So I am from Karnataka. So I am from Tamil Nadu. So I am from Andhra Pradesh. Now Andhra Pradesh is divided. I am from not, you are from Andhra Pradesh? No, I am from Telangana. So division is continuing. And Prabhupada used to say that United Nations, they used to talk about unity, and every year the flag is, number of flag is increasing. But they are telling United Nations. So, real United Nations means we should be united, not divided. So, we have this kind of division based on our place of birth. So, we are from different parts of India. So, we are identifying ourselves. And I have practical example. I was giving a lecture. I mentioned that also in the morning. I was giving a lecture for 10 minutes. That we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And after giving that lecture, I asked a question to that community. Around 50-60 devotees are there. How many of you are South Indian? And immediately, without any, there is their hand. So, even after hearing so many times, I am not this body, I am not this body, it is very difficult to give up the concept that we are this body. And South Indian body is very glorious. Right? So everybody is thinking like that. Those who are from Bengal, they are thinking Bengalis are glorious. They will justify. They have different reasons to justify that they are glorious. Those who are from Odisha, they also have their own way of explanation. Those who are from Maharashtra also have their explanations, right? So in that way, different people have their own justification to establish themselves, they are superior. These are the bodily concepts of life. And that's going on. Now ISKCON is beyond India. ISKCON does not mean Indian Society for Krishna Consciousness. ISKCON means International Society for Krishna Consciousness. More variety. Not only Indian variety, so many varieties in India itself. So you think that people are coming from Europe, so many countries. Each country is unique. And people are coming from North America. People are coming from South America. People are coming from Africa. Right? People are coming from Asia. So many places people are coming, and it's a big family. So how we can be united? Prabhupada used to say, ISKCON is a spiritual united nation. So we can be united based on the principle that we are spiritual. And how we can be spiritual? When we go beyond the bodily concept of life. We have to work on that very sincerely and very seriously. Then we can come out from this bodily concept of life. And unless and until we come out from this bodily concept of life, it is very, very difficult to have a healthy Vaishnava community. So today, now we'll continue the discussion. That relationship has different aspects. So how we can have a long-standing relationship? There are many principles. But the first principle is that we have to like each other. Acceptance. If we don't like each other, there is no question of love. We talk about love, love, love. It doesn't happen. The first step of our love is we have to like each other. It's called acceptance. Generally, we want to get what we like, but we should like what we get. It's a very important principle. I'll repeat, and you should remember this. It's very, very important in our life. We want to get what we like, but we should like what we get. Acceptance. We should be happy and grateful whatever we have. Then there is a question of healthy relationship. Everybody is expecting, oh, my life partner will be high level of expectations. The man is thinking that my wife will be like Sita, but he is like Ravan. But he is thinking that my wife will be like Sita. Expectations. High level of expectations. But we have to accept, even if he is not like Sita, we should accept. Acceptance. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to have good relationship. Acceptance. We should like each other. Liking. And how we can like each other? There is a big philosophy behind that. And Prabhupada narrates this in detail. The process of liking. And I discussed that during early days in Bangalore, this trip. So there are 5 categories of people, Prabhupada explains. First category of people, they only see bad in others. Vyavsayatmika buddhi. Very clear. Everything is bad. Whenever you talk to them, nothing good comes out. Everything is bad in this world. Bad. And that happens to our life also. At the beginning, when something is new, we feel very nice. Right? That's why we change our clothes. Why new clothes are very interesting. That's why we change our cars. I was in some African country last year. I met a person, he has I think 25 or 30 cars in his house. And I was asking, what do you do? How many cars you use? He said, I only use one car. But he is so attached to change the car because something new is very interesting. Then we like to change something, but we cannot change due to social obligations. Our life partner. Very difficult. The one partner whole life. It's very difficult. Many people come and disclose in confidence, Prabhuji, tell me, how whole life? This is a serious commitment. And in Western countries, very difficult. I heard in America, if you can stay together after marriage for 3 years, it's a wonderful performance. It becomes a news. 3 years together. But according to our Vedic culture, marriage means for life. It's good news or bad news? Good news. He's from traditional background. Whether it's good news or bad news, that is our culture. But why that relationship does not become very interesting? Because nothing is new. And I used to think, if this is the situation in this world, Krishna is staying with Radharani, not one life, life after life, since time immemorial he is staying with her. But he does not have any complaint too much, same girl again and again. How it is possible? Then I came to know that that kind of relationship is not based on the relationship what we are talking about here. So Krishna, whenever he sees Radharani, Radharani's beauty increases. And whenever Radharani sees Krishna, Krishna's beauty magnifies. So that's why Radharani and Krishna, they are unlimitedly beautiful. What is the meaning of unlimitedly beautiful? Because their beauty is ever increasing. Very difficult for us to understand. Because the beauty in this world, we have some idea. And in this world, beauty diminishes by the process of time. I am beautiful, that becomes past tense in due course of time, right? I don't remain beautiful. I may be beautiful, but in the process, I will not be beautiful. Because time will take away our beauty. But in the spiritual world, it's not like that. But the point I am trying to make, that things which are new keeps the relationship alive. That's why we want new and new and new things in our life. But relationship is not like that. If you make relationship in that way, then there will be a lot of problems. And that's why there are so many problems in relationship in this world. So in our devotee community, our relationship should not be so hollow. It should be deep. So at the beginning, Vaishnava community is always very inspiring because all the devotees are new. We feel very happy, oh, such wonderful devotees. And people, when they come to Mayapur, because I am from Mayapur, and they say, Prabhuji, I cannot understand who is who. You all look similar. Looks like coming from other planet. But when they come and enter into our day-to-day life, they understand which planet we are from, right? So everything is exposed. Means when you become familiar, come close, there is a tendency to see the faults. That is the natural tendency of the spirit soul, familiarity. So when we go close to somebody, instead of seeing the good, we have a tendency to see the bad. That's why relationship breaks. Before marriage, the boy has a big impression about the girl. Everything new is very impressive, no? And the girl also have a very big, very high impression about the boy also. But after marriage, after few months and few years, they started thinking, my God, whatever we have heard is not true. Something different. So the reality and expectations, there's a big gap, and that becomes very, very unfavorable for healthy relationships. So you have to learn. Relationship is a matter of learning. You have to learn to maintain the relationship. Starting a relationship is easy. Breaking relationship is more easy. Nowadays, that's why it is said, love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Easy. But maintaining the relationship whole life, it's a very, very deep and meaningful journey. It's not so easy. It's difficult. So for that, our relationship should be based on deep values. So Prabhupada is explaining that is our tendency. As soon as we come close, whether husband, wife, whether parents and children, whether God brothers, whether devotees, anybody, when we come closer, there is a tendency to see the bad, natural. But that is that lowest level of consciousness. What they see only bad. Then from that level to the second level. In the second level, they see both good and bad. They can see both. But they completely ignore the good and magnify the bad. If they hear, oh, he has done this wonderful, oh really, oh, no problem. You know, he has done this wrong, oh really, tell me more about that. So we don't give any importance about the good things. We try to ignore the good things. But as soon as some bad news comes, the ears are too much open. And we want to hear more and more, and we want to magnify the bad. That is the second level. In the second level, they can see both good and bad, but they ignore the good and magnify the bad. Then go to the third level. In the third level, they are equal, both in good and bad. They are indifferent. They are not affected either by good or by bad. They see equally good and bad. Then fourth level. In the fourth level, they see both good and bad, but they deal with the bad or ignore the bad and magnify the good. And fifth level, the topmost level, which is very difficult for anybody in this world to attain that level, they only see good. They cannot see anything bad. So it's only possible for Krishna and his pure, completely pure Uttamadhikari devotees. They only see good in others. So in order to have a healthy relationship in Vaishnava community, devotees should be at the fourth level. Then we can have healthy relationship. What is the fourth level? We should be able to see both good and bad, but we should try to deal with the bad. If you cannot deal with it, then ignore it. But you should always try to magnify the good. See good in others. That is called acceptance. That is called liking. Very, very important. So, acceptance, liking is very, very important. Accept. That is the first principle of good relationship. Then, what is the second? After acceptance, we should appreciate. Acceptance, then appreciation. In order to have a healthy relationship, we should appreciate each other. But we have a tendency to criticize or to correct others. That is our natural tendency. So, we have a nature like that. We don't like to appreciate. Rather, we like to criticize and correct others. Right or wrong? So, in order to have healthy relationship, we should appreciate devotees. And Mahaprabhu was the example, the way he used to appreciate devotees. That shows the purity of the heart. Unless you are pure in heart, you cannot appreciate people. You can appreciate in a fake way for some time, but if you really want to appreciate some person, then you have to be really elevated and pure in your heart. And Mahaprabhu used to appreciate his devotees like anything. He used to glorify all the time. He used to glorify Haridas Thakur. He used to glorify Rupa Goswami. He used to glorify Raghunath Das Goswami. He used to glorify Sanatan Goswami. He used to glorify Sivananda Sen. He used to glorify Vasudev Datta. He used to glorify like anything. He used to glorify Kulavecha Sridhar. When he used to glorify, Mahaprabhu was like glorifying with thousands of mouths. The way he used to glorify. And while Haridas Thakur was leaving his body at Siddha Bakul in Jagannath Puri Dham, Mahaprabhu was glorifying Haridas Thakur. And devotees were so happy to hear the glorification. That is the quality of Vaishnava community. We should feel happy and joyful when some devotees are glorified. But what happens to us? As soon as someone is glorified, he is waiting when my turn will come. I think the speaker is not in proper consciousness, he is in Maya. He does not know my glories. So we always want to hear our glories. But we don't like to hear the glories of others. Why? Because we have a very dangerous quality in our heart, which is known as envy. So Vaishnava community cannot be grown nicely if the devotees in that community are envious. So envy has to be kept outside of the Vaishnava association. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, Vasudev is explaining that in order to experience Srimad Bhagavatam, Nirmat Saranang Satang, we have to be free from envy. So envy means no vacancy in the spiritual world. Envy, no vacancy. If you have envy, there is no vacancy. The door will be closed all the time. If you are envious, no problem. You continue your journey in this world only because there is no vacancy in the spiritual world. Door is closed. So if you want that Krishna will open the door of the spiritual world, then what we have to do? We have to keep the envy millions of miles away from our Vaishnava community. But it is very difficult. And because of that envy, we cannot appreciate others. And not to talk about appreciating others, we cannot hear the appreciation of others. Paro sukhe dukhi. As soon as someone is glorified, we feel bad. Why he is glorified? Why not me? Why is glorified? Too much glorification is going on. It's too much. Okay, little bit is glorification is okay, but he is glorifying so much. But Mahaprabhu, the way he used to glorify, if you hear from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we cannot think how Mahaprabhu used to glorify. As compared to that, we don't glorify devotees like that. So devotees are glorious or not? What do you think? Huh? Yes, the sound is very... So that is the problem we have, because we don't have confidence that devotees are wonderful. That is the problem we have. Prabhuji, okay, okay. Krishna has said, devotees are wonderful. But we have opposite experience. So Krishna feels very happy seeing devotees. That's why I give the example of two lords. One lord is from the east and one lord from the south. Okay. One is Jagannath, other is Ranganath. Okay. Two opposite nature they have. So Jagannath, he does not sleep. So people ask, Prabhuji, why he does not sleep? Baba, how he can sleep? He cannot sleep because he does not have eyelids. Who can sleep? Who has eyelids? So Lord Jagannath has no eyelids. So how he can sleep? He cannot close his eyes. So his eyes are always open. And Ranganath is always sleeping. So very interesting form. And all three Vishnus, with due respect, they are very happily enjoying their life. Mahavishnu, sleeping. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, sleeping. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, sleeping. I used to think that when we have busy time to manage big festivals, just like in Calcutta Ratha Yatra festival, Mayapur Gaur Purnima festivals, those who are managing, they cannot sleep, sleepless. But when Lord is managing, he is sleeping only. Because these three Vishnu, they are supposed to manage the whole universal affairs of the whole cosmic manifestation, not a festival. And what they do? They just sleep. And their representative is Ranganath, he also sleeps. But the message I want to give a little different. So Jagannath, his eyes are always open, and what he is seeing? He is seeing the wonderful qualities of the Vaishnavas, and so happy by seeing that. That is the form of Jagannath. And Ranganath, why he is sleeping? Because somebody went to him and told, this devotee have this problem, this devotee had that problem, he has that bad quality, he has that bad quality. What he does, he closes his eyes. He doesn't want to see. So Lord, that Lord who doesn't want to see the bad qualities of the Vaishnavas, he is Ranganath. He closes his eyes. And that form of the Supreme Personality Godhead wants to see the good qualities of the Vaishnavas, that form is Jagannath. But for us, it is really opposite. Okay. So as soon as we see some good qualities in others, we become Ranganath. And as soon as some bad qualities we see, we become Jagannath. So that is our situation of life. So how we can expect a healthy Vaishnava community? Our quality is not so high, very difficult. But we are expected to come to the level, fourth level. But it's very difficult to have only the first level is also difficult. Seeing only bad is also, you need to be very degraded. But generally we have a tendency, we are between 2 and 3. Mostly practicing devotees are generally at that level. So that is called Kanistha Vaishnava Association. Kanistha Vaishnava community. What is the symptom of Kanistha Vaishnava community? The symptom of Kanistha Vaishnava community is that we are at the level of 2 or 3. But in order to come to a Madhyama Vaishnava community, we have to come to the level of seeing good in others, 4th level. So the fundamental qualification to have a wonderful, vibrant, ideal Vaishnava community, the members of this community should be at the 4th level. Very, very important. So coming to the point of appreciation. So we should appreciate in public and correct in private. But we do opposite. We correct in public and call somebody, you have done nice, okay? Appreciation is over. So that is the way we act. And we expect that every member of our community should be dedicated, give their life, give everything for Krishna. Expectation is very high. Same. We want a wife like Sita, but we act like Ravana. In the same way, in order to have high level of expectations from the community members, we also act. The leaders of the community should be able to inspire the community members. How? The best way to inspire the community members is to appreciate in public. Appreciation. That's why Prabhupada used to appreciate like anything. Appreciate in the public. Mahaprabhu used to appreciate devotees. It's very, very important because appreciation gives the inspiration. We all need appreciation to be inspired. So therefore, appreciation of devotees is very, very important in a Vaishnava community. Then how to correct? Just like appreciation builds healthy relationship, correcting others, if you cannot do properly, it breaks relationships. Very dangerous. So generally I was hearing that we should be very, very careful while we correct. So first, in the process of correction, we should know that whether I am the right person to correct him. That is the first question we should ask. If I want to give feedback to correct somebody, first question we should ask that am I the right person? Who can correct? A guru can correct. A spiritual authority can correct. Management authority can correct. Parents can correct. Teachers can correct. A good friend can correct. So therefore, first we have to check, am I the right person to correct someone? This is very, very important principle. Then, if I am the right person, then we have to ask the second question, that do I have the correct motive? Why I am correcting? The purpose of correction is to help somebody to grow in Krishna consciousness, grow in life. The mood should be to help someone. But mostly we want to correct out of our envy. So you did something to me, so now is my turn. So that is the motive we have. That is not a correct motive to correct someone. So in order to correct someone, we should ask, do I have the correct motive or not? And after that is clear, then we have to know, we have to ask the third question, that do I know the process how to correct? There is a process how to correct. The best way to correct is that we should call him in private and speak in a palatable way. Rather, we should not express the problem, we should explain the problem. When we express the problem, then people get upset. But when we explain the problem properly, then they can understand the problem. So it's a technique of correcting people. So in order to be a good leader in any community, and especially in spiritual community, Vaishnava community, we have to know how to correct others. So if that is clear, three questions are clear, then we have to ask, this is the right time to correct. Timing is very, very important. So if all these questions are yes, answer to these questions, then we can correct someone. So it shows that how careful we should be in the process of correcting or giving feedback to someone. But in our relationship, we take it very easy to give feedback. And because of that, many relationships break. So this is very important principle. So first one was acceptance, second one is appreciate, and third one is acknowledge. We have to acknowledge the contribution of others. We don't acknowledge. Acknowledgement is also very, very important to have healthy relationship. And the fourth one is, Prabhupada said, in order to have healthy relationship, we have to have the nature of forgiving and forgetting. Forgive and forget. Prabhupada said many times, so in order to have a good relationship, we have to learn to forgive. Forgiveness needs a lot of spiritual quality, and forgetting needs more quality. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, yes, I can forgive, but I cannot forget. Very difficult to forget the bad experiences. It always dwells in my mind. What he has done to me, what he has done to me, what he has done to me. So our mind is dwelling in bad activities. So how will be Krishna conscious? How there is a question of good relationship? Because our mind is dwelling, which is very, very unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. So forgiving is very, very important, because who can forgive? Who has strength. Those who are strong person, spiritually strong, they can forgive. Those who are matured in Krishna consciousness, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, they have the natural quality of forgiving. And taking revenge is the quality of a coward. Those who do not have strength, do not have empowerment, do not have qualities, they always live in revenge fantasy. You have done to me, I will see also. My time also will come. Tit for tat. So that is the normal reaction. You have done to me, I will also see you. My time also will come. Time is a cycle. So you are doing to me, I will do it to you also when my turn will come. That is not a good spiritual mood. Prabhupada, in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, is explaining, and he is giving a very high level of statement. He is telling, if someone kills us, for that also you should forgive. You understand? Prabhuji, what you are talking? He said, I am not talking. I am repeating what Prabhupada has said. And not Prabhupada has said, it is practiced by the great Acharyas. And the example is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces. Right? You know that? And according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, if that kind of beating happens to us in one marketplace, we will be dead. But somehow or other, Haridas Thakur was not dying. Why? Because he cannot die, because he is eternal. He is completely Krishna conscious. And he was not dying. So, the army or the people of the Qazi, they are in anxiety. And they are beating so much, they become tired. And Haridas Thakur is okay. So they asked Haridas Thakur that if you don't die, then we will die. Because Qazi will kill us. So then Haridas Thakur became very compassionate. Oh, you will be killed. I cannot see that. So I should die. So what Haridas Thakur did, he entered into Samadhi, transcendental Samadhi, trance, which is as if he is dead. So the Qazi's men were very happy. Now Haridas Thakur is dead. Declaration is made that he is dead. So what to do with his body? He should be buried or he should be burned. So Qazi said, no, it should not be burned, he should not be buried because he is neither Hindu nor Muslim. So his body should be thrown into the Ganges. Why? Because he is not Hindu and Muslim. Correct. He is not Hindu, he is not Muslim, because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. So he should be put into Ganges only. So that is the arrangement of Mahaprabhu. So he was thrown into the Ganges. After some time, he came out from the Ganges. In the Fulia village, he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We think that story. Prahlad Maharaj, it was a story. He was about to be killed by his father. He was not having any complaint, forgiving. And when Hiranyakashipu was killed, after that Prahlad Maharaj was praying and Nrsimhadev wanted to give some boon to Prahlad Maharaj. So what Prahlad Maharaj told? My dear Lord, I don't want anything, but my father has committed a lot of offenses. Please forgive him. This is the heart of a Vaishnava. Forgive. Forgiveness. Naturally, they are forgiving by nature. Because they don't keep anything in the heart. Pure goodness. So that is the natural quality. So Mahaprabhu protected him. Mahaprabhu was asking Haridas, can you remember that the Qazi's people were beating you in 22 marketplaces? I sent my Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra came back without killing them. And I was very upset. He said, I told you to kill them, but he came back without following my order. Then Sudarshan Chakra said, my dear Lord, I followed your order. He said, how come you followed my order? I ordered you to kill all of them, but you came back without killing them. How come you are following my order? He said, my dear Lord, you told that your devotee is greater than you. You declared. So you are telling me to kill, but your devotee Haridas is telling not to kill. So what can I do? I have to come back. So that is the potency of the pure devotee. So Sudarshan Chakra could not act because of the forgiving heart of Haridas Thakur. So what Mahaprabhu had to do? His last, the most powerful means to kill somebody is Sudarshan. So that's not working. So what to do? He had to come himself. And he told Haridas, I had to come and put my back on your back, and I was taking the beating of these people. And you may not believe that. Do you believe? So he took out and showed that there was red marks on the back of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu was personally protecting Haridas Thakur. And why? That is the potency of forgiveness. So it is very, very powerful. So therefore we should learn how to forgive. So in order to have a healthy relationship, we should learn how to forgive. And also try to forget. Forgiving is difficult, forgetting is more difficult. Prabhuji, okay, I forgave, but actually you have not actually you did not forgive because you are not able to forget. Forgive and forget should go together. If you are forgiven, then you should forget that also. But you are not able to forgive him completely, that's why you are still remembering the incident. So that's not so favorable for healthy Vaishnava relationship. So we have to learn how to forgive and forget. And another quality to have good Vaishnava relationship is we need to tolerate each other. It's very important quality. Why so much breakups in the relationship nowadays? Because people cannot tolerate little things. Right or wrong? I always give the example. Prabhupada said that if husband and wife are together in a place, they are bound to fight. If they don't fight, something abnormal. Just like I gave the example, if the child is born, if child is not crying, abnormal. And if husband and wife are not arguing with each other, means it's too much. It's not normal, abnormal. Why Prabhupada gives the example, if two utensils are together, sound is very important, no? So that makes sound. If the two living utensils are together, definitely there will be more sound. There will be sound. Without sound, nothing happens. Even relationship begins with sound and relationship breaks with sound. So it depends what kind of sound. So we say that before marriage, the boy speaks and the girl hears. I always give this example, very interesting example. And after marriage, it gets reversed. And after marriage, wife speaks, because that is the laws of nature, no? He will tell, oh, before marriage, you are talking so much, now it's my turn. So, after marriage, wife speaks, husband hears. And after a few years, both of them speak and neighbors hear. But in modern society, it goes beyond neighbors, it goes to the courtroom. And they fight in the court in front of the judge. That is the level of relationship we have. But we learn to tolerate. That's why it is said, we have to learn how to say sorry. Sorry is very powerful word in our relationship. For that we need to have some good quality. Telling sorry does not mean that you are wrong. It's a very important principle, and I like this principle very much in our relationship. So it is said, if someone says sorry, if he is wrong, he is honest. If I have made something wrong, I say sorry, honesty. If someone says sorry, if he is wrong, he is honest. If someone says sorry, if he does not know whether he is right or wrong, he is wise. And if someone says sorry, even if he is right, he is a husband. That is the beauty of relationship. By telling sorry, we are not conveying that I am wrong. By saying sorry, we are conveying that we value our relationship more than being right or wrong. That is the art of good relationship. So therefore, this relationship is very interesting. So Akbar and Birbal, I love this story. I didn't tell this story for a long time. So I thought I'll share this today. So Akbar and Birbal were walking on the street, and both of them saw that husband and wife came on the street. It's a very interesting fight. So the size of the husband is big size, heavily built, hefty fellow, and the size of the wife was not so small size. But the voice was opposite. And Akbar was amazed by the sound vibration of the wife. Very interesting. Shouting, screaming was going on. It became a scene in the public, on the road, and both of them stopped there and looking at the scene. And after some time, it came to a climax. The climax of the fight was the wife slapped on the face of the husband. I don't know how much you can tolerate that, but somehow or other the husband tolerated. And Akbar was thinking that something will happen, because it's a hefty fellow and he got the slap. There should be a reaction from him. But he saw that husband was very humble and tolerant husband, and he just put his head down and left the place. And Birbal was smiling, and Akbar was not so happy. He said, "Oh, what kind of husband is this?" So Birbal said, "Aisa hi hota hai." But Akbar was not so happy. He said, no, every husband is not like that. He said, "No, I feel every husband is like that." He said, "No, I don't accept it." "Okay, no problem. So you should have some practical demonstration. So please invite all the husbands." So all the husbands are invited. And all of them gathered together in a big hall, much bigger than this. So all the husbands came together and they are standing. Then Akbar and Birbal appear into the scene. So Birbal said, "I'll ask you a question. If answer to the question is yes, you should leave this room and go to the next room." Okay. And the question is that you follow whatever your wife says. You understood the question? The wives and the husbands understood? The question is that do you follow whatever your wife says? That is the question. It's a good question. Mataji's? Very good question. For the husband, a good question? No, Prabhu, it's not a good question. But that is a wonderful question. And after the question was asked, then the process began. One by one. Husbands were leaving the room. Confirmed. So he was leaving the room. Akbar was very astonished to see that all are going. Everybody was going. Then he saw that one man was standing. Akbar was so happy. At least one is there in my kingdom, real husband. So Birbal said, "Don't be so excited. Let us go and ask." So both of them approached that husband. He said, "I asked you a question, that do you follow what your wife says? If answer is yes, you should go to the other room, but you are staying here. It means you don't follow whatever your wife says." He said, "It's not like that." He said, "Then why you are standing?" He said, "Before I came here, my wife told me, please avoid the crowd. So I saw so many people there, I thought it's better to be here." So that is called not tolerance, that is the beauty of good relationship. Very interesting. But we should draw a lesson from this, that we need to learn to tolerate. Keeping the jokes apart, we should learn to say sorry. We should try to tolerate each other. Tolerance is very, very important quality to keep healthy relationship. But nowadays it's very, very difficult to tolerate each other. So in that way, we discussed about relationship based on love and trust. There is the second principle of healthy, ideal Vaishnava community. Then that was the relationship part. We should have good relationship with the Lord. Lord should be the center of our relationship, and we should also have our relationship amongst the devotees, healthy relationship. Then we can have healthy community. Then after that, we should act. That is called avideha. What we should do. So first we should act for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is known as sadhana bhakti. Sadhana, the good sadhana is very, very important principle to have healthy community, spiritual community. That's why you say a family who prays together stays together. That's the principle. So to be together, we have to pray. Not only once in a week. We should pray every day. So if you cannot come to the temple, at least pray at your home. But make an habit also to come and pray in the temple also. Temple has been built to collectively pray. So when we pray together, the prayer becomes very powerful. So we should learn to pray together, and we should regularly gather together and pray together. So sadhana bhakti is very, very important because that is the foundation. All these things, whatever we discussed, healthy relationship, keeping Krishna in the center, this will not happen if you don't have proper sadhana bhakti. This is the foundation. If the foundation is weak, the building will collapse. In the same way, if the sadhana of our community is low, then community is bound to collapse. A spiritual community, a Vaishnava community is founded on the principle of sadhana bhakti. That's why Prabhupada said that books are the basis. My temples, my society is not built by bricks, cement, steel. My society is built by books. Books are the basis. Means sadhana bhakti is the foundation of our community. If sadhana is not there, we cannot expect anything good in our community. So regular sadhana is very, very important. And Prabhupada said, getting up early in the morning, chanting japa, mangalarati, and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is the integral part of our sadhana bhakti. So if we can perform that, then slowly, slowly, the spirituality of our community will enhance. If we enhance our spirituality individually, that will reflect on the community. We should not think, oh, I will do if he does. He is not doing, why I should do? This is not a good attitude. We should be very selfish. To be selfish is very good. If we are selfish for our spiritual advancement. So, sadhana bhakti has to be very, very strong. Because unless we perform sadhana bhakti, we cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Sadhana bhakti theke hoy roti hridaya, roti garo hoile prem nam koy. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, by the process of sadhana, we get attraction for Krishna, and attraction fructifies into love of Godhead. Then, that is in relationship with the Lord, name ruchi. Name ruchi. Very important. Developing the taste in the holy name, that is the purpose of sadhana bhakti. And Vaishnava Seva, another important principle of ideal Vaishnava community. You have to serve. Serving Vaishnavas is very, very important. Loving exchange amongst the Vaishnava. Dadati patiginnati guhyam akkhati prichati bhungte bhajayate sarchaiva saravida pratilakshanam. Rupa Goswami has defined the exchange of the Vaishnavas. And that is the principle of devotee care. We talk about devotee care, no? It's very important aspect of ISKCON nowadays. Devotee care. But Rupa Goswami has defined how to care for the devotees. So how we can care for the devotees? We can care for each other by accepting gift and giving gifts. Dadati patiginnati. That is the emotional care. Then guhyam akkhati prichati, that is spiritual care. And bhungte bhajayate chaiva, physical care. Good prasad. Very important. So Rupa Goswami has outlined the full package of devotee care. So if these 6 exchanges are properly established in our community, then naturally it will be ideal Vaishnava community. We don't have to break our head what is devotee care. Our acharyas have given very clear understanding of devotee care. We should care for each other. I was discussing that day that how to become a good leader. Example, that will come also. A community grows and becomes ideal depending on the quality of the leader. How community can grow? How much community can grow? The level the leader has grown. If the leadership growth is up to the 5, the community can grow maximum up to 5 out of 10. A leader should not expect, I am 5, but our community should grow 9. If we want to see that community changes or grows, we should change and grow first. Those who are taking the leadership position is very, very important. So, 3 questions generally are asked about leadership. Very interesting. First question is, do you care for me? That's the first question about leadership. I used to think that only ISKCON we talk about devotee care. No, everywhere leadership means care. So first question, very frequently asked question, these 3 questions. The first question is that do you care for me? Second question, can you help me in my life? Second question. Third question, can I trust you? So these are the primary questions which are asked about leadership. And these 3 questions, answer to these 3 questions reveals or reflects 3 qualities of a leader. The first question reveals the quality of compassion. Do you care for me? Second question reveals the second quality of a leader, that is competence. And number 3, can I trust you? That reflects the most essential quality of a leader, that is character. So, compassion, competence and character are 3 primary qualities of a leader. And if we want to see a flourishing Vaishnava community, a leader should exhibit these 3 qualities. So, I will explain in detail, little detail. Oh, how long? Time is passing. Prabhuji, I should finish at 8:30. Huh? The managing vice president, what is telling? Huh? How long you are comfortable with? 8:30? Prabhu. Huh? Seriously? He is very seriously communicating. 8:45 is okay. So how many of you are okay up to 8:45? Including question answer, right? Okay. So you should keep some time for question answer, and I request all of you, please ask some questions, because that will help me to understand the topic better. And that also help you to understand the topic better. So this is my humble request to all of you to ask question after I finish my talk. I can go on and on for this topic, but time is a factor. So compassion. So I was giving this topic to the youth also. Passion and compassion. Very interesting. What is the meaning of compassion? Com means less. Com. Less passion means compassion. So in this world, people like to be passionate. Passion. So passion means get things for ourselves. Passion makes people selfish. Compassion makes people selfless. A leader should be a selfless servant. That is the quality of a leader. Second one is competence. In spiritual term, competence comes from knowledge. We think that authority comes from position. We have a misconception. Authority does not come from position. This is the lowest level of leadership. When we think that authority will come from my position, but leadership is not dependent on position. Knowledge is the power. Knowledge is the power. Knowledge is the management power. Purity is the spiritual power. If we are pure, that is our spiritual potency, and if we have knowledge, that is our management potency. So, in order to be competent, we should be knowledgeable. We should be knowledgeable. How we can be knowledgeable? When we read. A leader is a reader. It is a universal principle. Who is a good leader? Who is a good reader? So in our spiritual community, a leader has to read Srila Prabhupada's books regularly. That will give you the real competence. So reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly is very important in order to be a successful leader. And the last one is, the third one is character. Character means integrity. Character means transparency. Character means no private life. Generally in outside world, leadership means I have something in the public, something in the private. Public you should be very decent, nice. In the private you can do whatever you want. That is not good leadership. Leadership means open book. There should not be any privacy in our life if you want to be a leader. So, character was very much emphasized in the early days. And while I was giving this talk, I was remembering that my father used to tell me that if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. But nowadays it has become completely opposite. If character is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if money is lost, Prabhu, everything is lost. Money talks. And money is the source of all inspiration. But we should have inspiration from our character. Character inspires people, not the money. A spiritual leadership is based on inspiration. So how we can inspire people? When we exhibit good character. Actions speak louder than the voice. We should learn how to walk our talk. It's very, very important. So therefore, in order to be a good leader, we have to have good character. So these are three aspects of leadership. Number one, compassion. Number two, competence. And number three, character. So that three things will make a leader complete. There are so many other qualities also, but it's very interesting qualities we should cultivate in order to be a good leader. So coming back to the point of Vaishnava Seva. Vaishnava Seva or Vaishnava Sangha, the most important aspect that we can be together if we recognize the interdependence. Interdependence makes people united. We can have difference of opinion, but if you are interdependent, then we can be united. Interdependence creates the quality of unity in diversity. In order to be a vibrant, meaningful, ideal Vaishnava community, we should cultivate the quality of unity in diversity. Prabhupada wanted that. Diversity you cannot avoid. There must be diversity because every individual is different. See the life of the Pandavas. 5 Pandavas were completely different in their qualities. All are completely different. Yudhishthira Maharaj is one type, Arjuna is another type, Bhima is other type, Nakula is other type, and Sahadeva is totally different type. So all are totally different. But they stayed together. That is called unity in diversity. So Mahaprabhu also exhibited unity in diversity in his pastimes. How? Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur, stayed together, close friends. We always think close friend means we have to be similar. Similarity brings familiarity, not friendship. So in order to be friend, you should have some deep values, not the external similarity. In our Krishna consciousness, every individual is unique. So in order to have good relationship, we have to recognize the principle of unity in diversity. That's why Advaita Acharya Thakur and Haridas Thakur were close friends, although they are completely opposite from social point of view. Someone is coming from a very aristocratic Brahmana family and other one is coming from a very, very low background from social point of view, but they are close friends. Gadadhar Pandit became the disciple of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was a aristocratic, apparently looks like materialistic Vaishnava, and Gadadhar Pandit was completely opposite, highly renounced, lifetime celibate. But he became the disciple of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. That is called unity in diversity in Mahaprabhu's pastime. And it continued. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was one of the greatest scholars during that time. But he chose his spiritual master. Who was his spiritual master? Gaur Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj. How to talk about educated. He did not know how to read, how to write. Completely illiterate. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur chose him to be his spiritual master. Unity in diversity. Narottam Das Thakur and Loknath Goswami. Narottam Das Thakur was a prince. And he was a very special personality. He was like empowered incarnation of Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya left and they came also with their potency. Mahaprabhu came as Srinivasa Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu came as Narottam Das Thakur, Advaita Acharya came as Shyamananda Pandit. So Mahaprabhu used to talk about Narottam while he was performing his pastime. Nobody could understand who is Narottam, who is Narottam. And while Mahaprabhu was taking bath in Ganges, in Padma River out of touch from the divine body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she was overflowing by the touch of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said that I am giving some valuable things to keep with you. What is that? He said, my dear Padma Devi, I am keeping love of Godhead with you. Very interesting. But it's not available nowadays like that. It's available, but we don't know the source. Then he said, when Narottam will come, please give this love of Godhead to him. See the level of Narottam Das Thakur. So Padma Devi said, okay, my dear Lord, I will follow your order, but how do I recognize who is Narottam? It is very simple. The level of ecstasy you are feeling by touching me, when that kind of ecstasy you will get again by the touch of another person, that person is Narottam. Is okay? Understood? Very clear. So Padma Devi gave love of Godhead to Narottam. So he was from a aristocratic background, he was a prince, he was extremely beautiful, and he had love of Godhead. Fully complete. But Mahaprabhu predicted that Narottam will take initiation from Loknath Goswami. Narottam also knew, and Loknath Goswami also knew. So Narottam Das Thakur went to take initiation from Loknath Goswami. Loknath Goswami refused. He said, how can I give you initiation? You are extremely qualified. I am totally unqualified. You are from a rich aristocratic family, you are so educated, so beautiful, and ultimately you have got love of Godhead. The purpose of initiation is to get love of Godhead. You already got it. What's the point of giving initiation? He refused. Narottam was requesting, Loknath Goswami was refusing again and again. Then he understood that I have to pass the test of my spiritual master. So Narottam Das Thakur started doing menial service. So Loknath Goswami used to respond to the nature's call in the bushes of Vrindavan. That time no washroom facilities in Vrindavan. So he used to observe that last few days my place is very clean every day. I don't have any secretary, I don't have any servant. Who is doing that? He was very curious, and one day he came little before and he saw with his own eyes that Narottam is cleaning the urine and stool of him with his own hand. Then his heart melted and he told Narottam, today I will give you initiation. That is the example of unity in diversity. So therefore, diversity will be there. But if you don't have the unifying principle of spirituality, then we cannot be united. So in order to have a vibrant Vaishnava community, we have to recognize the diversity. At the same time, we have to make our sincere attempt to make this diversified situation as united spiritual community. That is the art of leadership. Mahaprabhu exhibited that leadership. Srila Prabhupada expected that we also exhibit that kind of leadership to unite the whole world. What to talk about ISKCON society. It's our great legacy to exhibit to the whole world that in spite of our differences in various fields, still we are united. And what is the principle? We want to serve Sriman Mahaprabhu. We want to serve Srila Prabhupada to spread the message of love of Godhead all over the world. If that legacy is understood, in spite of our differences, we will be together. We can talk a lot about that because time is running out. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ISKCON Vaishnava community ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.